Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, a little bit different video. I want to talk about tools, and more specifically about tools that I made and why I made them. So let's get into it. So as you know, there's a lot of tools on the market. A lot of new tools are coming out all the time, which is great, which is amazing, because it allows us to unlock higher level of repairs. And today, I want to spend some time and talk about the tools I made and explain to you how they work, because on the first glance, they might be a bit different, maybe, some of them. And I want to explain to you how to use them and why I made them so you can understand them better. So first off is this pedal. Not only is this very nice looking pedal, and also maybe looks like a hammer, like a lot of people think it's a blending hammer. That's not the reason I made this one. I made this one as a knockdown pedal. So if you have a knockdown, this is a titanium head, and I made it based on the hammer I used for a long time. If you have seen it in the previous videos, you might see it also in some later videos, just because those are all videos that I still didn't edit, and when I will edit them and release them, they will be there. But I promise you, this is what I use. So I was using that hammer, wooden hammer, metal head, for a long time, and I got to think of myself, basically I was using it from the start of my PDR career, and I was thinking, what will happen if, because I love that hammer, right? I love the weight, I love how it works. And I was thinking, what happens if I break it, right? There's no substitution. So I started developing this pedal based on that hammer. I made the head a little bit bigger. It's titanium here. The reason it's titanium is because I was trying to match the weight of that hammer perfectly, because that weight, for me, it's amazing, and I needed something metal here, because when you knock down, a metal to metal energy transfer, if you haven't heard of it, just think about it, right? When you knock down, if you use something soft here, the energy you're going to send through, it's going to be soft, it's going to spread out. If you use something hard here, especially metal, you can even hear it. It's like a shock. You can hear it, you can feel it in your hand. It's like a shock coming through. And when you have a high spot, when you want to bring it down without affecting the sides too much, you want to shock it down. You want it basically to cut it off. And that's what that hammer that I was using allowed me to do. And that's what this pedal allows me to do. So it's titanium, because aluminum would be, first of all, a little, well, I don't know if it would be too light, but aluminum is quite soft. So after some time of use, this would get really bad. So it's titanium because it's stronger, it's more durable. Plus, when it's burned like this, it looks nicer. But I want to have something still here, so I can hold my knockdown here, so I always know where it is. When I grab my pedal, the knockdown is here, and I'm ready to knock. And when I'm finished, I just stick it here and leave it there. Now, things that I changed, added, this carbon fiber handle is square, if you have noticed, right? We had round ones before, but I don't have a lot of control with the round one. When it's square like this, when you put your finger on, you have control. You can even go sideways, and the surface area that your finger here has it allows you to maintain control. Even if you're knocking down and you're knocking sideways, you are not rotating the hammer. You're not losing control because the finger holds it. And another thing, when your finger holds it like this, it's almost always like flat square, so it's like perfect knocking down. If you want it sideways, of course you tilt your hand and it's perfect sideways. I added threads here so that you can add tips if you want. If you want to use it as a blending hammer, you can. I am not, because I really like my Glaxo blending hammer and I'm sticking to that. I use this as a knockdown. We can go to this little fella. So what is this? It looks funny. Nobody knows really. When they see them, they don't know why is this used for. So this is used if you sometimes use a hammer, a paddle, and a knockdown to knock up. Why would you knock up? So I knock up in the situations where there is a dent and there is a borderline stretched. So when I see it, I'm like, this may be stretched or not. I would use a knockdown to knock it up, because when you're knocking it, you're not affecting all the area around. So if you think about the dent that you're pushing, if it's borderline stretched, if you're pushing, the time you spend pushing it, when your tip of the tool touches the dent and moves the metal, that contact when it makes with the metal and when it moves, that's, let's say, seconds. And when this moves, when you're pushing this center up, you're pushing everything else around it up. Hence, if the dent is borderline stretched, you may stretch that dent. So at that time, I take a knockdown and a hammer and I just start knocking up, because the time the knockdown and the metal are touching, that's like millisecond. It's like a shock. You're basically shocking it up. You're not pushing all the area around, you're just knocking the center up. And because holding a knockdown like this and knocking it, it's kind of awkward, because the way I like to do it, I like to grab a knockdown, I like to push it up a bit, just a little bit, to see where I am, and then start giving it that shock. Now, because this is awkward, what I did is this little tool, this little extension. It's called the knock-up extension, and this comes handy. So it will fit any knockdown, of course, 5/16, and it will take any tip, of course, the same, 5/16. When you add this, if you put this between your fingers here, grab it like this, what this allows you is, now this allows me to push up, have control, and then I can knock up. And also, it gives me that extra length, so when I'm knocking up, I'm not hitting my hand, I'm hitting, there is an extra length to the knockdown, right? So this is the knock-up extension. If you are doing any knocking up, this will give you so much more control and precision with knocking up. The next funny tool is this little man. I call it the push-up tool. I came out with this originally in combination with this JVF tool, because it makes oversized dents that are not stretched. So don't try and go push stretch dents. Bigger oversized dents that you see, okay, that's a big dent, but it's not stretched. If you use this like this, press up underneath it perfectly, wiggle it, you will shrink that dent so fast you won't believe it. But that's not the only use of this tool. So what I saw, that was my first intention of creating that tool, is just for that use. Then I saw from a good friend, Dan, he put on a rubber, because this comes with the rubber cover, and he used it um, to hold an edge and knock it. Gene Ferry used it. He put on a dolly kind of tip. I think it is from Dent Reaper. So you can put that dolly tip on it, and you can hold the dolly and do an off-dolly work with the hammer and hold it. Because we all know that original dollies are big and awkward to hold and have control with that and strength. When you put it on this, you have grip, you have control and strength, and you can push and dolly. Or another usage I found is you can put any tip on here. If you have an open area in a quarter panel or somewhere that you just don't get leverage or something, or a big open fender, they're rare, but it happens. You can put any tip, cherry cap, R4 cherry cap, a sharp tip, whatever, and just push it like this. So this is a great hand pushing tool. We are making a new line with A1 black tools with gold and black color. They just look amazing, man. When you see this in person, I love this gold color. It's perfect. So A1 had, for the longest time, left and right brace tools. I use them in the blue handle and a soft tip. What we came out now is the same tool, but in a sharp version, and of course these amazing colors. This sharp version now is great for some aluminum panels and stuff. If you just love sharper tools, these are straight flat, so I like to put them on the roof, for example, when there is a brace and the roof panel. I like to squeeze in from the side, right here, with those. They are thin enough that they go in very nicely. In the sharp, they will help you a lot. Now also, same thing, but curved is an option. If you buy this one curved, those are more for some, still you can use it between the brace and the roof panel, right? Or any other panel, right? But curved, for me personally, it's more going through holes in braces, or maybe the doors, the upper brace on the doors. If you have some of that holes, this curved will slide in very nicely, and again, sharp edge, like sharp tip. First initial door tool I used from A1 in my competition is this one. So it's a fourth BB tip tool. It takes on the cherry cap, and I wanted something, so that is not a new tool. This is an old tool from A1. I wanted something longer, with a longer kick for lower parts of the doors, and A1 made this. So I asked them for longer here. If you can see, if we compare it, right, they're longer here and they have a longer kick. So it's great for the lower part of the doors. And I'm using this all the time. And they come with normal standard hubs. So this year, I was thinking, well, because I love these tools so much, A1 created this lovely short and long, I call them short sharp, long sharp. So these two are amazing for the doors. Now they come with these handles, A1 handles with my name on it. If you want a different handle, you just unscrew this and you have the same hub like you see here. It's the same standard hub, so tactical handle, and all the Anson handles, they all fit on this hub, right? What's very good about these tools is, I hope you can see, they are slightly angled up, slightly, and they have a long kick. So you don't need a lot of power, you don't need a lot of strength to start moving that metal. And with slightly bending up, if you come into the doors and go a bit sideways, you can also sometimes sneak behind that upper brace on the doors, right? And the last tool I want to show you for the doors is the same thing, short and long, but I ask for interchangeable tips. So why this? Again, same kick. They did shorten it a bit to compensate for the tip you're going to put on, but the size, the thickness of this rod is still the same, but it takes 5/16 threads. So you can, again, go really nicely into the doors. Put any tip you want on it. My recommendation is either go with Kit Cosentino's new micro tips. They're amazing. They will dive right in, right? Or Hudson Tansey came out with the new Wizards dice. So it's basically a new, better version of a cherry cap. So you put that tip with the Wizards dice, it's going to push very, very nice. But why interchangeable, and what's very good about this thing? If you take off the handle, has my name on it, though maybe you should keep the handle. No, I'm just kidding. But my recommendation, if you want to buy something, I would go with interchangeable first, my first option. Why? Because if you take off the handle, then you can put on a T-handle on it, and then it's not just the door tool anymore. When this has a T-handle, even with this handle, it can be used in like a quarter panel. You take the light off, you have that small access hose, because this is very thin and you can put any tip you want. You can go access there and you can push like sideways. But if you have a T-handle, you can really, like, imagine having a T-handle here. You can push like this. It becomes very versatile tool. You can use it on a fender with a T-handle, maybe even like this, right? But it would be much more comfortable with a T-handle. You can use it on the roof panels. You can use it under a hood if you put on a T-handle. If not, I mean, you can still use it technically. It's just not as comfortable. But this is probably my new favorite door tool. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something about the new tools I made. Please comment down below, what do you think about those tools? And if you have any ideas or recommendations, I would love to hear them. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.